The next piece is the building implosion. And in the building implosion, we got to work with the Loiseau brothers. And Loiseau brothers are the family that implode buildings. They very strategically place explosives on the supporting structures of the building so it collapses in, making this huge cloud of dust fly into the air, but hopefully, and so far so good, none of the building lands outside of the perimeter of the building. So the building implodes as opposed to blowing outward. You'll see that in a minute. This is the kind of the first use of a video wall on TV. Video walls were very popular at that time. This was considered really cool back then. A little montage of some of the work of the imploders of buildings. They actually saw through the membranes of the building, the supporting pieces, and the building would actually be precariously kind of held there by just the most minimal amount of support until the last minute. Behind me there is the actual building that we were going to implode,
The only difference is I'll be inside,
which is in Charleston.
safe, trying to escape. This is a sheet of polished stainless steel. It's 1 inch thick.
This steel plate is a solid steel plate. And
Inside the building.
we have this cloth, which you'll see later on, gave us a little heart attack when the wind decided to blow it off there almost. The next day, we're inside the building in daytime. That safe is the safe where I'm going to escape from. All that's left of that safe is the door. The actual, perimeter of the safe, the box part of the safe, got totally destroyed in the implosion. The door itself is not in great shape either, but it's still a door, so it tells you something. The people outside are watching on video screens, and there to examine the plate of steel.
And that the X is in place. This timer controls the detonation of
And there's one of the Loiseau brothers who's in charge of imploding the building. There's 13 of us inside that building. I had to escape, and the other people had to run out. I think it was kind of interesting that 13 of us were inside there towards the end. Kind of strange.
Just keep in mind that our television audience.
Remember, all these walls, the floor that I'm on, everything won't be there in 3 minutes. There's the remote control camera of the safe.
And our handheld camera. So you'll see.
And Larry McConkey and his brother. Larry McConkey did all those great Steadicam shots from the Scorsese movies, the Goodfellas shot, all the very famous Bonfire of the Vanities shots that go on and on. You'll see it won't cut away, and it's an amazing piece of video. This shot right there will never cut away. I'm inside there quite firmly. I'm being chained in, and everybody's got to run their butts off out of this place. The remote control camera will remain on the entire time. The explosives are turned on. And again, without a cut, they're out of there. Down the hallways, every light, every piece of carpet and floor, what's left of it won't be there in 2 minutes from now. We asked for permission. As you watch this, I'll tell you a little story. We asked for permission to have that big plate of steel in a parking lot of a church next to the building, and they didn't give us permission. They thought magic was some kind of demonic thing, which of course it's not. They didn't understand but they didn't give us permission to stand. I'll show you where when this shot sweeps around. Right there, that parking lot right there, was where we were going to end off the illusion with the steel plate. But instead, we ended off in the distance there. So the camera, we had to get instead this crane, that the camera's hopping on the crane and driving backwards off of the building. Remember, there's no cuts. You can see, but back in the background there's the church. You can see in the very far distance where we wanted to be. But instead we're driving to where we got permission, another parking lot and another building, where the camera's driving back. It's going to hop off the camera crane onto the building where we got permission. It's very lucky that that happened, and you'll see why. Because the cloud of smoke, when the building collapsed, the cloud of building, I should say, because when the building collapsed, all that, what's left of the building, it becomes a big cloud of smoke, almost came towards us and almost ruined our camera shot. Instead, the wind came and swept all the smoke across the church where we tried to get permission. So it's very lucky that they didn't give us permission, because we wouldn't have had a shot. There wouldn't have been an illusion. We would have been covered with 2 inches of building dust. And you'll see that happen in a second. Again, the camera has gotten off the crane. We are now on that other parking lot. Getting in our frame the plate of steel with the X. It's very windy. You'll watch what happens to the cloth here. The cloth starts to blow, and everybody's almost going to have a heart attack, because if that cloth, oops, see it? If the cloth blew off of there, we would have had nothing. The building blows up, and that cloud of building starts to come towards us. But nope, it gets swept to the side all over the church and the parking lot where we want it to be. All the cars in that lot had 2 inches of dirt on top of it, which means our cameras would have been filled with dirt. There would have been anything in the lens. You couldn't have seen what we're seeing right now. So we were very, very lucky. Again, one camera shot still hasn't cut. We're seeing below the platform. And it's a good thing that cloth didn't blow off, because I would have had nothing to appear from beneath. Here I come. I should really thank Michael Dimich. This is the first show that Michael Dimich directed for us, and did a great job with this. A great collaborator through many, many specials. Nice hair. Very nice hair.